Hello there. In this today's video, we are going to see object-oriented concept in software engineering. Welcome back again. My name is Dr. Muhammad Abdul Bari. I'm an associate professor in CSE department, KMEC. We are again in software engineering unit 2, chapter 2, and we are going to see something about object-oriented concept in our class today. We must understood to apply object oriented, we need to have a concept of class based element in analyze model. What are the class based analyze element in analyzing model? We also have seen this concept in Java, but the same concept are being using in object oriented concept or analyze model. We have to go through object, we have to go through class, we have to go for message, we have to go for abstraction, we have to go for encapsulation. We are going to see all this part in our class today. Class, first part is class, which give you a plan for making things. Their job is to set a characteristics and method for every instant of the class. For example, if you have a class of what books, we can have attributes about its title, author, and also if you have a class, let's take example which is represented as this is a class and it is represented. I have already discussed this in my previous class. Then what are its attributes? This attributes is title as well as author, and what are the operation? Checkout with bracket. Okay, this is nothing but your class operation. Object are instant of a class that holds data for function that works on other data. Please do remember that works on other data. Like we have a car, class of car, they have got properties and methods. Properties are nothing but your attributes and methods. In that we can able to have one car called Ford that becomes an object of this one. That is what that work on data in real world. Correct. Then we have got Toyota, one more call, and this is also one more object, and what are its properties and method. I hope you have got this concept clear. Class is something that has a name, that has got attributes, and that has got means a function to perform on it. Whereas objects holds the data which will work for the real world. Correct. And function that work on that one. And the example which is given here. Now binding a class. How we are going to binding? As I told you, this is class name. These are its properties. These are its operation. For an example, if I have a student, class name. Correct. I'll draw this one. And what are its properties, attributes? Student ID, student name, student address, and student phone number. What are its operation? Operation is coming to class, having a canteen, going to canteen. Correct. These are its operations. So I've got the name, I've got the attributes, I've got this operation. It can be represented like this also. This is what your class is. Now let's move on to other one. What are classes? Means what are the operation you are going to do on the classes? We have got name, attributes, and we have got external entities, we have got things, we have got all the occurrence which is coming. What are the roles? What is the organization unit, places? All many things are coming on that one. Correct. Many things will come on this one. Encapsulation or information hiding. The object encapsulation is nothing but both data and logical operation are performed on word. We have got operation, like we have got data where methods are being used. Okay, method 1, method 2, and method 6. For example, which we have taken an example, how encapsulation. If in a book class, an encapsulation, the issue count is attribute. Correct. It's make it private so that it can only be modified. Do remember, it can only be modified through checkout or return books. So issue count is 1. ETC count is 5. If I go check out, it becomes 4. If the book returns again, it becomes 5. This is nothing but, what is this one? It is manipulation operation or logical operation, which is what called procedures, methods which are used on return book, methods which are applied on this one. I hope you got this point. Encapsulation. So we have got a class. In that one, if you have got a library book, when checkout and return book operation, we go on and on with this one. Then class hierarchy is something like that. We have a furniture superclass, we call it as this one. In this we have got table, chair, desk and cot. And in this one we have got instant of a chair, properties of the chair. This is higher order and this is lower order. Now next move on to other point. Methods or operation which is performed on our class, or operation, the executable procedure that is encapsulation in a class and designed to operate, or we call at operation, methods or message service. What happened? Object communication with one another using a message. With one object send a message to other, it effectively call that method. So correct, one method is calling other, this method is calling this method, correct. That is called message information. Example, if there is a borrow object wanted, if there is a borrow object wanted for the checkout, it will check out a book, it will send a message to this book, checkout method, send a book object invoking checkout methods, correct. If that borrow wanted, borrow might send a message to book object invoking checkout. If borrow wanted a book, if somebody want to borrow a book, then borrow, then click on this one, then we'll have to go for checkout operation. So one message is calling other message, correct. What are the element of analyzing model? We have got one, data dictionary, we have got entity, we have got data flow diagram, we have process specification, we have got data operation and control specification. We will be seeing all this part, okay. What is data dictionary? It the list of all element of the software that is used to create the file, that is used, list of data items that are used to create the file, that keeps set of all the programs, it's very important part for the research product. So when we started our project, what are the things we have stated and where are they, what are the parts and everything. This stores the data and one place that help model to data object to describe during the software need process. So data dictionary is the central point of contact, where in the starting point where all the files are created and everything. Software need phases, as we move on, we have to move on. We have to take that information, the list of data item that software uses or create in this file, or object which are created during the software are being kept in this file. This is what center of it, data dictionary. Now entity relationship model you have already seen in where, in DBMS. It shows how two or more data items related to each other by using a data model operation, which is here, entity relation model. Next, coming to other part, we have got data flow diagram. What do you mean by data flow diagram? The process that changes the flow of data are shown, the flow of information, how that, and along with data change it goes from input to output. In addition to the information used to study the information domain, this is input, this is output, correct. The process of change of flow data along with how data changes from input to, if you give an input, what will be the output, what are the process it works for this one. It gives the extra information that uses for whole model. The engineer can also make method for both functional and knowledge domain that can be used for that part. So data flow information give for input as output, how the data changes from input to output. State transaction diagram. This diagram shows different ways the system behave from an outside event. I just wrote outside event point. it shows how the changes from one state to other. Not only that, but it is also described how the system act when an outside event happen. When an outside event happen, correct? You are using your mobile phone. Suddenly a message comes from different WhatsApp. So how WhatsApp responds to an outside message? It give you a beep sound. The same way the diagram shows the system behave. It changes from one state to other. Not only that, but also describe the system act when an outside event happen. It shows the how the system act by showing its status and things that make it happen. To change, what is the status, how the things, what are the things that happen to that make the changes. Further, it explain what are the step taken that event to take it happen. For an example, you are having a movie on a mobile phone. Suddenly a call rings. That is an outside event. What are the steps have been taken out to pick up this phone, and what the software does? This is what state transaction diagram. Process specification store an explanation of each function, shows the data flow from in a picture format. How function in the function, how data flow in the form of a picture. This is also called process specification. Process specification deals with functional information and how the data flows from this. It takes about what goes into the function, the formula that changes the input, what comes out of the function. It also shows the rules and restrictions that are put on the performance of that function. So process specification deal with function and how the function uses, what are the function input and what is function output. Control specification, this is nothing but your main part. When an event happen, there are more information stored about the key part of the software. Key part, main part, this is used to show what the process does when an event happen and which process start because of that event. It also give information about the step taken to handle that event. When an error occur, what are the exception handlers work on and what are the step you have taken out. Data object description, it keep track of and give full information about data object. It keep track of all the data as well as it give full information of the data object that is used in the present software. Correct? In the present software, what is also does, it tells you about the data object properties, which is also shown in entity relation diagram. Correct? I hope you have got the point. Thank you very much. I'll stop it here. Today in this video, what I have done, I have given you a concept of object oriented concept. Thank you very much.